It's going to get real pretty in a second because there's the water.
Yes, please.
It's a bit nice, isn't it? Time to shine, Thomas. Stop looking so awkward. I've definitely got better at work-life balance. And I think having these trips to Margate is a really helpful way because you can't be sad by the sea and you can't not be relaxed if you're looking at the sea. There's a fine selection. The new year, we've not talked about the new year yet. I've changed year group, so I'm in year 5 now, which I really enjoy. I've got a lovely class. I'm already big fans of my class. But yeah, I find obviously it's a lot easier than last year. This time, like last year, in the half term, I think I was shell-shocked. I had absolutely no idea what was going on. And obviously there's so much that you don't know about schools, like acronyms and checking the week to view and what does this mean, that now it's, you know, I'm comfortable because it's a school that I already know my colleagues, and it's actually quite nice having the first year teachfirsters in and being like, oh, I know how you feel here. Here's some chocolate. Here's this printed out, like you know what they need. A cuddle. Oh, I love this cup. I find the workload a lot easier than last year. I'm having a lot. I made a promise to myself that I would have weekends, which is so necessary, but to be honest, at the very start, it's quite difficult to do because I was just frightened all the time. But now, yeah, I have my weekends. I don't mind staying a little bit later, maybe on a Monday to Friday, but then I leave all my work at work and then I wish I'd have done that in the first year because my mental health is winning right now. As you can see, I'm by the sea.
I started playing Korfball when I was 6, so I started playing at primary school. So I've got an older brother, an older sister and a younger sister, and we're all 2 years apart. So there was a year at school when my mum just went, yep, you can all go to the same club, loved it and played since then.
Given the amount of time I've been playing, I should have a better prepared answer.
Well, somewhere between basketball and netball.
You're either attacking or defending, but you can't cross halfway line.
The main thing I like about it is you have to work as a team if you want to win.
I've always enjoyed the team sports side of it, and that side of it, working with people, was always the side I thought, yeah, I could maybe do teaching. I quite like doing some of the teaching. It just helps with planning, being organised, breaking down something complicated in the sport into small chunks.
I was trying to do a bit of crowd management, trying to get the parents in. So I was using my teacher voice to get everyone to calm down and to make sure they take their tickets, repeating instructions, which I do a lot in class.
Kids, good afternoon!
I think this particular group has a close place in my heart, purely because I used to come here and I know the impact it's had on my life. And besides teaching, I've always worked with young people anyway. In this particular group, they've always worked really hard with young people, so I think it's important to give back. If it wasn't for people like me when I was there, we wouldn't have been able to do shows as well.
Starting the new year has been much easier. 2 big things I've noticed. I know the school system, so I know who the members of staff are. I know where to go when I've got a problem, and I also know how to handle problems that the kids are used to. The second big one is that I'm much more focused now on the students than I was on me. It's not perfect yet, but I'm focusing more now towards, I'm more confident what I'm going to say, so I'm aware of what the students are doing more, and it means I'm picking up bad behaviours, and I'm talking and I'm engaging with the students much earlier and much easier. I think those small things day to day just build up to being more confident, and I don't have to sweat the small stuff as much because it just sort of happens.
It gets easier. That's just all there is to it. You get easier at managing your time, you get easier at understanding what works for you. Like, for example, I don't like working on the weekend, so I stay longer on a Friday. But some people don't like working on Friday, they want to leave 3 on the dot. But people are different, so I think you find out what works for you and you start to manage it, so it gets easier.
Probably the single most important thing I have done is I've had a hobby outside of work. So for me, it's Korfball. But I think you need to find something that is away from your job. It takes your mind off it, whatever it is, and it might change from person to person. When I come here on Wednesday, I get to run around. I don't think about teaching, I don't think about any of the kids. I just get on, I'm kind of focused on what I'm doing here.
It's a difficult balance, but actually, I think that for me, I've struggled less doing this because I love the job so much, rather than doing other things, because it feels like I have a purpose. And I think my anxiety, and when I've had like depressive sort of flare-ups in the past, it's always been an indicator of something else being really uncomfortable for me, be that the job or a situation. But I do feel like, as well, I'm always very open, because I take antidepressants for my condition, and I'm obviously very open with the school, and I feel like they've been really supportive and said if I needed any help to ask for it. And almost when somebody says that, it kind of takes the anxiety off of you, because you know that you are going to be helped and looked after.
Because of the nature of the person you are when you're teaching, it becomes hard to switch off anyway, naturally. And I think sometimes, unfortunately, that's assumed. I don't think it's fair to assume that because I care, that I shouldn't care about myself. Things need to be put in place that allow teachers to do that.
Maybe the job would be more satisfaction if teachers were allowed to spend more time planning than, and delivering lessons than they did marking them necessarily. There seems to be so much checking, and it's so rigorous that I think that causes people to feel like they have to do so much more or tick all the boxes to make sure it's perfect before they can leave. We could probably spend the whole half an hour talking just about that, I think, because I do think that it's a really big issue in the profession.
I never thought Claire would be a teacher, but when she said she was studying to be one, I just thought, well, that's very fitting. I would have really appreciated Claire as my teacher. Although she is in some ways.
Oh, Thomas. Now I feel very wise. Like a lot of my sort of like friends and stuff, if teacher friends have like teacher partners, but you're not a teacher, but you get that I need to check out for a bit.
You'd be so stressed out if I was like distracting you all the time and not doing any of the things that you were supposed to. You wouldn't be actually any fun to be around.
And I'm the most fun to be around.
Oh my god, I'm going to do that thing, and I've made you not do the thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I think you're good at being like, okay, you need to do this now, and then okay, you do that. But then you're also good at being like, let's have a day. So
go off and do your thing.
You're great. Well done, you. Yeah, you too, Thomas. We're all great. Isn't that great? You're great too. Yeah. God, I love being great. Isn't it the best?
That's the first time I ever cheered with the team.